Cut my Hulk into pieces, my children! Last year we opened the Longbox with the Immortal Hulk. And while it is not what opened this year's, we are still opening the Green Door. When last we left Bruce and his other half, he had absorbed the gamma radiation from Sasquatch, and in the process absorbed some kind of spirit that had the face of his father. He's not sure what to do now. The Hulk is actually smarter than him, but that intelligence takes the form of hunches and gut feelings rather than rationality. He manages to communicate with the Hulk, which conveys to him only one idea: home. The place they should head next. Meanwhile, the Hulk's known associates are being monitored by the government. Shadow Base, headed by General Fortean. Their job is to bring in the Hulk for study. Originally, this was General Ross's idea, but even he was convinced that he was too close to the job to do it. As such, they're currently studying Del Fry, the son of the scientist who was afraid of death. He's still alive, actually, but in constant pain. And all but one of the scientists don't really care about how he's feeling. They just want to study his gamma-irradiated DNA. Still, they need a living, actual Hulk to compare it to. They could take Amadeus Cho or She-Hulk, but their disappearances would be noticed. As such, they use the legal system to manipulate things, pressure the Avengers and Alpha Flight to either capture Bruce Banner or turn over Walter Lankowski to them for the crimes he committed as Sasquatch. Captain Marvel agrees that capturing the Hulk is their best bet, and they soon find him hitchhiking through Iowa. The Avengers think they're fine. They've got a team of heavy hitters with them, and the Hulk only seems to come out when Banner is killed. Problem is, as Bruce states, that's his secret. He's already dead! I'm just saying that the Avengers movie from back in the day would have been a lot better if they had all been undead like him. The Hulk fights them, stronger than ever, and after the fierce battle, they are left with no options but to use Code Helios, a giant laser that pulverizes not only the Hulk, but the neighboring town, which of course they evacuated first. Ugh, all this cape and costume crap, where's the horror here? In the hands of Shadow Base, they figured out that the best way to contain the Hulk was to cut him up into several pieces, all floating in jars. And he's still alive! I withdraw my complaint. I should note that Hulk gains a nickname during their fight to distinguish how powerful and seemingly malevolent he has become. Devil Hulk! Certainly not a name to go to pieces over. The Shadow Base experiments a little, cutting the Hulk's heart in half, and yet when it's closer to his body again, it begins to beat, and the two pieces even fuse back together. They can't quite figure out how he's still alive and able to control his body parts. There's no psionic link between the pieces, yet the regeneration doesn't work on the individual pieces. It's not like he's going to grow a new body from just his head. Captain Marvel, working with Lankowski and the reporter from the last volume, McGee, soon discover that the Hulk has disappeared after his capture. General Fortean cannot be found, and General Ross denies all knowledge of this. Wanting to find their lost friend, Captain Marvel elects to not only put pressure on them, force them to make a mistake, by revealing what happened in a press conference, but also form a new team to track them, calling it Gamma Flight. The pressure works as Shadow Base decides to move all their operations to a new base, and the Hulk in his jar is pleased. The head scientist is annoyed by how happy the Hulk is over this, telling him how they're going to torture and experiment him more and more. Yet all the Hulk can do is laugh and grin without lungs. And then the Hulk reveals his hand, still able to move, and still able to snap his fingers, the force of the action shattering all the glass and letting the pieces reassemble. Oh, but that's not all. For threatening to torture and experiment on him, the Hulk's body reforms around the scientist, killing him in the process. The Hulk escapes and makes his way to home, the original military base where Banner got exposed to the gamma bomb, where the Hulk was born. Meanwhile, Shadow Base recruits one of the Hulk's enemies from prison, the Absorbing Man. He's been on a bit of a downward luck lately, arrested after he broke up with his girlfriend over his pride and failed a heist. They inject him with a special serum that will enhance his abilities and make him directly able to absorb the Hulk's gamma radiation. And look how embarrassed he is over everything. He turned red! The Hulk, meanwhile, begins to wonder if coming to the base was actually his father's spirit influencing him, and decides to leave, but is intercepted by the Absorbing Man. The Absorbing Man's power works, reducing the Hulk's strength and appearance, but it also absorbs the spirit of his father, which infects the Absorbing Man. The creature that was using his face reveals itself, some sort of demonic entity that splits the Absorbing Man's body into, well, however you describe this. A spine snake, maybe? In any case, Alpha Flight heads in to try to stop the Hulk, but Shadowbase's operative, a man who can literally form guns from his body, gets them to fight. The distraction allows the creature controlling the Absorbing Man to flee into the desert, Hulk realizing what's really going on here. As the team shoots him down, Hulk says that the gamma bomb that created him opened up a green door, and if he absorbs the remaining gamma radiation on the spot where the bomb dropped, he'll tear open that door. And he does! The Hulk says they've all been transported to where they've always been, where everyone has always been. Hell!
Nice place to visit, at least. While the individual stories are now moving into a more serialized one, the Immortal Hulk still maintains the horrific atmosphere and body horror that its first volume produced, showing a darker side to the Marvel Universe and the Hulk himself.